Good afternoon. The time is 3:01. The day is January 16th, 2024. I'd like to call to order the January meeting of the Norwalk Board of Fire Commissioners. We have a quorum with Commissioner Destruge and Mayor Rilling. And the first order of business is acceptance of the regular meeting of Tuesday, December 19th, 2023. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a correction on that.
Yes. Well, let's first let's what I do is ask, is there any corrections, deletions, or omissions?
Okay.
Commissioner, do you have any?
No, I do not.
Anybody from the staff?
Fire Marshal's report.
I'm sorry?
Yes,
Fire
in the section for the Fire Marshal's report,
Okay.
it's correcting the line that says Assistant Fire Marshal McCabe. It should be Assistant Fire Marshal McDonald.
Okay.
Good catch.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions, omissions, deletions?
I don't have any.
Okay. All in favor of the minutes as corrected?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. There are no action items report. Chief, your report?
Okay, so we are now 6 months into the new year.
Mhm.
Typically, we should be at 50%, right, of the budget. There are two things that I'm concerned about. One is obviously the overtime account. For the firefighters, we're at 51.1%. But I'm sure as we get into January and February, those numbers will come down and maybe balance everything out by the time the end of the year. By the time we get to the end of the year.
Mhm.
And we're doing good in the salary account. So like you said, we could always move some money around later on. The other one that I'm concerned about is the fire equipment account, which is the mechanics. Basically that one motor vehicle parts account. If you look at it closely, we're at 96% of 240,000 that we were the revised budget was, and we're only 6 months, and we've used almost all that money. So I'm afraid we will be running out of money in the motor vehicle account.
What do you attribute that to, Chief?
Just price increases on parts, probably a little higher than normal repairs that needed to be done. It could be a bunch of different things, but mainly the price increases. We know we're like in the 30, 40, some 50% range. So, yeah. Again, so overall though, we're at 45.9, which is obviously under 50%. So just a few of those line items that we have to watch.
And I appreciate that. And of course, we realize that at the end of the year, when we reconcile the budget, usually shift things around during transfers from one account to another, usually in fairly good shape. So hopefully with the being at 45% in the other overall budget, that's a good sign.
Yeah. Okay.
Commissioner Destruge?
No questions, but thank you for pointing this item out. We'll keep an eye on it and work together to make sure that we're good when we have to reconcile the complete budget.
Okay. Assistant Fire Chief Administration, Assistant Chief Conti.
Noon.
Yeah.
Phone just rang right when you announced it. I got just a couple the ongoing projects. We're moving forward on everything. The station learning system, we've done a couple more tests. Everything passed very well. So actually next 2 weeks are going to be pretty busy. We're doing more testing with the station testing is that's sort of how they integrate it and ensure that it works in the station. And then we're also working with Norcom and Purvis. So we're going to actually be doing some training with the dispatchers and with the supervisors next week. Should be next Thursday. That's going to be pretty much all day with different training. The cutover is scheduled for February, and we should be right on track. And the good news is I've been working with Norcom now. That kind of dovetails into the state radio system. We've got improved for our template finally by the state. So everything is kind of moving forward. We should be able to migrate over to that new state system that PD's already operating on, where everything's supposed to be, in February. So we're really hoping that everything will go through smoothly. We have training on that as well next week with Norcom. So everything seems to be moving forward, and that's everything's installed now. So we're looking good there.
Good.
For the buildings for Station 3, the apparatus floor, I actually got it today. The engineering firm returned the contract, so we should be contract should be signed. I would, we should be getting started and starting our talks, hopefully, next week. I already spoke with the structural engineering firm maybe a couple weeks ago, and they understand the urgency of it, and so they're going to get right on it once that contract was signed. So we're going to see a lot of movement, hopefully moving, the next month or so with them. The bathroom renovation is moving along. We actually had one final material that ended up being back ordered. I thought it was getting delivered, and then it seems to be happening right now. But so we're waiting on the stalls. But everything is working very well. We've passed all our inspections. We've got all our finishes in. We're really just waiting on the privacy partitions to come in. And
I saw that when I was over at the Station 5 on Christmas morning. They showed us the bathroom. It's coming along nicely.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the contractors' work and how they did. And they actually they also got because that's original 1970s tile, and they got a company really interesting. They steam cleaned the whole bathroom, and it really changed a lot. Yeah, they did a really nice job. So we're very happy with it. The partitions, I'll let you know when they're done. I think it's gonna look really sharp. There are these really nice private partitions, and it came out nice. Did a nice job. Any other questions? That's really the update.
Commissioner DeStrouge?
Yes, just a comment. I know that we have spoken about getting a tour of the various stations, and I'm thinking when the new commissioner is appointed, perhaps that might be a time for us to visit all of the stations. And if we can't have a commissioner meeting at one of the stations because of the Zoom requirement, then perhaps we can schedule 2 mornings in a month where we can visit 2 stations and and get to see all of the wonderful work that you guys are doing.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
And I probably, hopefully, by next month, I might, as you know, the Board of Commissioners, fire commissioners, and the police commissioners have been increased from 3 members to 5 members. So if I have Rabbi Paskine is going to be appointed, and I'll need 2 more either unaffiliated or Republican members. I'll be appointing at least one, hopefully by February, trying to get people that are interested in serving.
Great.
All right, I mean, we can wait until you get all that, until you appoint people, and we
Yes.
can show everybody around at one time.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Okay.
With a report.
Assistant Fire Chief of Operations, Assistant Chief McCabe.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Under operations, we have placed an order with Pierce Manufacturing for our new rescue truck, which will replace the 1993 rescue truck. And the 2009 Marion will move to reserve status when that truck comes in. Unfortunately, throughout the apparatus industry, they're seeing a lot of delays. They're seeing issues with workforce. They're seeing issues with delivery time for parts. So right now, across the industry, you're looking at a 46-month delivery time for new apparatus.
Wow.
So we're in a position now where we actually have to plan years out for this new equipment. The
It's
downside
almost
of
4
that,
years.
yes, it used to be pre-COVID. It was about a 10-month to a 1-year delivery time, and now we're close to 4 years. So the other end of that, of course, is the difficulty it presents to us is the longer delivery times stretch the maintenance division. And, they have to work harder, spend more money, as the chief had mentioned earlier, to keep the older trucks safe and serviceable and on the road. So these are issues that we're dealing with as far as the apparatus. But the good news is that Pierce was ordered, and we are now in the pipeline for that. And then to augment the rescue company, a new tactical rescue truck has been designed, which will function as a scene support apparatus. So among other equipment, it'll carry an air compressor, a cascade system, which will allow SCBA bottles to be filled up at fires. So if we get a large fire, we're using a lot of air packs, and a lot of SCBA bottles will be able to fill those bottles right on scene rather than having to shuttle them back and forth from the firehouse. So that'll be a real benefit to us.
Great.
On January 13th and 14th, this past weekend, we had our entry-level firefighter exam at Brian McMahon High School. It was very successful. We ended up with over 700 candidates completing the exam. So now we'll wait to get our results back from the testing company. And usually that takes about 3 weeks or so. That's what it took back in 2021. So we'll look forward to getting those results. But good to have the test behind us and to have that program rolling.
They be also scheduling the oral interviews as well?
Yeah, so the first step of the process, which is what they did this weekend, involved a written exam and then also initial oral that was given by the testing company. Those two pieces of the test will be combined into a final test score. And then, of course, that list will be given to us, and however many people we want to hire in the next 2 years or so, we will continue with the chief's interview and the commission interview as we've been doing in the past. So we will look at that list when it comes in, and we'll be back in touch as far as if there's any interviews we want to do at that point in time. Also, we have 3 candidates from the 2021 list who will be attending the Fire Academy in February. They report February 13th, I believe. And that's a 14-week class, as you know. So those individuals will be graduating around Memorial Day. And just a quick note, I know you're already aware of the Christmas fire, but I just wanted to put in the report that we did fight a Christmas fire on Pine Hill Avenue. The occupants of the home did escape unharmed. 2 dogs were rescued by firefighters. Unfortunately, one of those dogs died later at the emergency vet, but the other is back with its family. So all the personnel did a great job at that fire. It was a difficult fire to fight, and the official cause is still under investigation with the Fire Marshal's Bureau and the insurance agency. And perhaps Assistant Fire Marshal Kirk McDonald will be able to report a little bit more on that. And that concludes that portion.
I was pulling into Station 4 when they were pulling out
Yeah.
on that fire. Yeah.
As far as calls for December 2023, we had 718 incidents, averaging about 24 per day. We had 12 fires, including 2 building fires, one of which we just discussed. We had 42 rescues. 34 of those were motor vehicle accidents. We responded to 460 emergency medical responses, 25 hazardous condition, 30 service calls, 105 fire alarms, and 44 good intent. So our totals for 2023 were 8,710 incidents and 13,545 total responses. And our incidents were up a bit from 2022. We were up 119 incidents from the previous year. Could take any questions?
Nope, not for me, but like very, very busy. What's the average calls per day now? 24, because I know when we first started, it was somewhere around 19 or 20 calls a day over the past couple of years. So it's obvious that you're getting a lot more, 5 more a day, which ends up to be about 1,200 a year.
Yeah.
No questions. Thank you for the report, and I'm sorry to hear about the loss of the dog for the family.
Thank you.
Okay, Fire Marshal McDonald.
Good afternoon. Thank you. So statistically, our numbers for the month of December, they're all down a little bit compared to the month of November, but that's most likely due to the holiday staffing and whatnot. And we did lose another one of our part-timers last month. So our inspections, we were down just a little bit from November. We went from 203 to 183. Notifications from 27 to 19. Public education, we only had 1 compared to 3 in November. Plan reviews, we were up a little bit, which increased the amount of income for plan reviews. Liquor licenses, almost the same. However, we did fortunately have fewer fire and investigation and code hazards than the month of November. We went down from 7 in November, actual fire investigations, to 4 in December. And the code issues and hazards that we were requested to respond to in November, we had 3 of them. We didn't have any for the month of December. Overall, for the year, January to December this year, again, it's fortunate because our inspections were up and our total number of fires was down. As far as the notable section report that I do on a monthly basis, we had nothing notable to report for the month of December, and all of those noted in November, those incidents, those notable incidents, were rectified the same day. As far as that Christmas fire, Deputy Fire Marshal David Burrows, he was the primary investigator on that fire, and basically determined the area of origin to be in the area of the sauna. Apparently there was a sauna in the basement. It appeared to be electrical in nature, but he couldn't pinpoint it to a specific circuit. And gentlemen, that's all I have. If anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to take them.
No questions, but just a note in comparison to the prior year, you were busier this year than in the past year overall.
Yeah, again, it's a good that the inspections were up.
Yeah.
And the number of fires come down and show that it's what we do is helping.
Yes, it is.
Correlation. You're up 200 inspections for over the year, which is good. You know, you're doing the best we can with the inspections, and I'm glad that the part-timers were helping out. And we lost one of them, you say? He
actually took a promotion in his town of Greenwich.
Okay. So are we going to be looking for somebody else to fill that void?
We'll be discussing that with the chief and Broderick.
Any questions, Commissioner?
No, thank you. Thank you for the report.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to emergency management. Mr. Luca, thank you for keeping us in the loop over the weekend, the weather issue.
Great, thank you. Again, I think last week and the week before, we've just had a string of weather, from rain, some flooding, wind, and obviously snow. So again, it's the communication. Michelle has been doing a great job with social media. I think we've all been cross-posting on the various platforms, especially with PD. They have such a strong social media following. So when they're getting the information out, I know it is reaching pretty far. We did have some interesting flooding on Saturday on Water Street and Vets Park. Probably one of the highest I've seen in many years, if not ever. Working with community services, there's been some discussion regionally and then at the state level on mass migration planning or mass migrant planning. I guess a lot of the social services have been discussing it and then kind of working with our emergency management, Homeland Security at the state level. They've been doing some planning. So there was a large meeting last week, and we'll do some follow-up both locally and then on the regional level to discuss how we'd respond, the reality of the state's plan, how that impacts us, and again, how we can work together both internally with some of the partners that we have in the community, and then on a larger scale with some of the other regional partners and then state agencies. Doing some catch up on emergency management performance grants. I know, Mayor, you signed a few documents, so those have all gone in. Again, nothing was overdue, but it was just kind of a good time since it was quieter to get everything submitted at once. And then lastly, worked with customer service and the tax collector to give them some insulated grocery bags with preparedness tips that they were able to get out as people are walking by or coming to pay taxes. So that's it.
Commissioner,
Good job. Yeah, thank you for all you do.
thank you very much. Okay. Training Deputy Chief Capola.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioner Destruge. So for the current activities we're working on, we have the EMS recertification class going on. Pretty much every day during the week, we have personnel cycling through it. And we have 2 different sessions of it because we had a lot of recertifications this year, meaning that we had a lot of people with expired certifications in 2024 and they had to update. The entry level, like Assistant Chief McCabe mentioned, the entry level firefighter exam was completed this weekend. We have been utilizing Hatch and Bailey Lumberyard vacant properties for some training on the outside of the building. If you look in later on down my minutes, I have scheduled some interior stuff with Alan Lowe. He's going to give us permission and give us the clearance when we can use the interior of the buildings for interior training. We have what we call a task book for ladder company personnel where they have, it's like a checkoff sheet that they work on. We've been using that for some good training for the ladder companies. We're still ongoing, slow pace, but making sure all of our newer personnel have Q licenses for being able to operate fire apparatus. That's ongoing. We are working with the members to prepare Station 1 for the arrival of a new, not the new, but the refurbished tiller. The injury prevention program is still going strong. And I've been busy with some different things, readying the new recruits for their upcoming recruit class, which they start in February, mid-February. Completed, we did some forcible entry training, again, with our police department partners. We did door breaching, and we did some teaching on methods of getting through doors with them. We finished our fire behavior training for all shifts and platoons. Ongoing rapid intervention training, that's completed, but we really never stopped doing that. That's just something we focused on the last couple of weeks. We also focused on cold water rescue equipment review, getting members in the cold water suits and make sure the equipment is ready to go for possible cold water rescue and ice rescues. The Marine Division has been doing some training charting, and they're out in the water doing that. And we also rolled out a bunch of new ballistic gear for active assailant incidents that was placed on all apparatus. New sets were ordered and distributed to the companies. Like I said, we have Alan Lowe on the hook for helping us get into some of the Hatch and Bailey Lumberyard sites, interior buildings, for some destructive training, including forcing doors and cutting roofs, hopefully, and cutting some roll-up doors. Working on the next round of department NFPA compliant physicals. I'm hoping to start those right after EMS is done, EMS recertification class is done. The Deputy Fire Marshal exam is scheduled for the 25th of this month, and the oral component would be the 26th. We were given a host. We're getting seats to host a pump operator class in the spring. It's a 6-day certification class. I'm sure many of our members will want to get involved with. And the recruit class 73 for the 3 new hires. That concludes my report for the month of December and up to now. Any questions?
I don't know if you would want to answer this, but how's that sale of the boat coming along?
I'm not sure, Mayor. Can I defer that to the chief? I'm not sure.
So
Chief?
we did have two interested parties that showed interest in it, and they were both offered an opportunity to come out, look at the boat if they want to, and drive it, etc. One of them was looking just to get it at a bargain price, and when we said we stand firm at our price, they went away. And there's another company, a volunteer company. I'm not exactly sure what state they're in. They're around like Maryland or that area, Delaware. But they're a volunteer department, so they need a little extra time to get finances together and things like that. So they're not completely out of it yet. But we're still waiting. We don't have anything concrete yet, but we're still waiting to get a response from them. So I have a
Okay.
meeting with Lieutenant Perry, who's been pretty much handling the sale of the boat next week. Discuss some other options that we might be able to do. So I'll let you know when that's all done.
Okay. And with the 3 new recruits that are going into class 73, how's that leave you with staffing right now?
We are 12 vacancies right now. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that are out, long-term injuries, 4 on workman's comp, 2 on their own sick time, ranging back from August of last year. So we do have quite a few vacancies, and those 3 will bring us down to 9 vacancies. And then we'll work on filling the other ones after we get the list.
That explains your overage in the overtime account for sure.
Yes.
What is the 6 out the long term? Are we working with Kerma and others to get them back as soon as we can, or
Oh,
is
yeah.
there
we
a
have-
prognosis that they're going to be coming back?
Yep, we're kept in the loop with Kerma. They're very good about it. Mark is in charge of all that. Weekly calls with Kerma. We actually have 2 of them that should be coming in for light duty and possibly coming back to work within another month or so. So that's good news for them.
Commissioner DeStrouge?
No questions, but thank you for the report.
Okay, local 830, no items. We've already gotten an update on the new entry level exam, unless there's something else to
I just wanted to thank Newark Public Schools for letting us use Brian McMahon High School to host the exam. They were very cordial, and everything went smoothly both days. So the numbers you heard already, and we're just waiting on the results now. So hopefully we're going to get a pretty good list.
Okay, good.
Can I just interject on that for a minute? I just wanted to say, Mayor and Commissioner, yeah, I think it's a testament to our department that we drew the numbers for that test that we drew. That is highly uncommon to have that many candidates come for a position that may, over the course of the list, only warrant, only yield, you know how many people it usually yields per test, usually between 25 and 35 people. I work around the state with the Fire Academy as an adjunct, and people have been asking me all over the place, when we're testing, and the reputation of the department is such that people in line were telling me that they really hope to get the job, and I think that's a testament to our department. I just wanted you to know that that's coming feedback from the outside. People want to become Norwalk firefighters.
Yeah, I agree. I think that The Norwalk Fire Department has a wonderful reputation, based on everything that I hear. When I'm at an event where there's other fire departments, everybody's always talking about the professionalism of our agency, and I totally agree. And based on what I see, I couldn't disagree with them.
Likewise.
Okay, so the only other item is the resignation letter that you mentioned earlier from the part-time fire inspector who promoted, who came out number one on the list in Greenwich. So it goes to show that probably got the training here.
Yeah, he's really reluctant to go, but he has to go because it's now, his position is now full-time in the fire marshal's office.
Mhm.
That really exhausted our list of people for the last time we went out, so we're gonna have to start all over again to try to find a replacement for him. But we'll work on that in the coming weeks. We are
I see
budgeting for it.
I see something in my last page, something about we're pleased that Aon, a multi-billion-dollar professional service and consulting firm. Is that something that's supposed to be in here?
I'm not sure what you refer to.
Might not, so I don't think it's supposed to be in here. It's about the, I think it's about the new railroad station over on Glover Avenue.
Oh, yeah, no. I don't think I have
Okay.
anything to do with that.
Okay, well, I got in there by mistake, but that's okay too. Any other items to come before the commission that, or comments, Commissioner?
I just want to wish the new fire marshal down in Greenwich the best wishes and thank him for his service.
I agree.
Thank you.
Okay, well, Chief, you and I can get together with Darren to talk about that issue with the truck and the auxiliary vehicle.
Yes, I tried to call him, but I couldn't get through, so
Okay,
we'll keep trying.
okay, very good.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you all. Have a wonderful day.
You too now. Thank you.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.